Grand rising all on this wonderful gloomy Monday rising. Something came to me, and just from one of my last posts I mentioned about how I like to be mindful when I'm eating food, and through my journey I wanted to touch on social gatherings. And in the Western world we associate pretty much every occasion with food, whether it's a birthdays, funerals, weddings. Pretty much most celebrations always has food. Yes, it's almost like food is a byproduct of occasions. And you realize that when there's not food involved, sometimes you may question if you even want to attend that thing, or you're super excited to attend somewhere because there's gonna be a particular food there, or a particular type of food or snacks. And we really get lost in the food as opposed to the occasion. And just through my journey, through cleansing and detoxing, especially when I was juice cleansing, juice fasting, and when I did so many days, it got to a point where I was like taking my juices out with me wherever I go, whether there was an occasion. I'll be the one that doesn't eat, but I'll be the one to bring my juices. And it was interesting because even through those gatherings, I remember I have my juice next to me, and soon after people have eaten, they get tired, lethargic, and I'm just like, whoa, what's happened? Like it was such like an eye-opener to see people like immediately tired after the consumption of food. And I definitely believe it's the types of food as well. Like I know, like now, typically these days, if I'm having like high water-rich raw foods, no matter how much I eat and no matter how full I am, I'm never tired after I've eaten it, because it's full of energy, it's full of life. So it's very, very interesting. But yeah, social gatherings are always has food involved. And like even up until recent years, I've gone out with, whether it's friends, family, or work colleagues, and they mention about food or where should we go. I'm always saying it's not about me, like go wherever you want to go, but I always do make that disclaimer of wherever we go, I'm not going to eat anything. Either one, because the food options there I'm not really interested in, or two, I just genuinely feel like for me, like eating is just such a mindful act. And I'm very conscious about where I am. The energy has to be right. I don't want to rush my food. I like to prepare my food. I want to be in a peaceful space, and when I prepare my food, I'm preparing it with love and just like pure intentions and good energy. And so when I do consume it, I do want to be in that similar environment. So that's just something that I do personally. But yeah, I want you to think about, before you eat, how do you feel before you eat? A lot of people get hangry, hungry, irritable. I don't experience any of these things anymore, and that's probably just because of myself, like cleansing my vessel and understanding like where these feelings come from. Sometimes it's a mask. You might feel a particular way, so you want to mask it with a particular foods, because I've done it even up until recent times. I've done it. Food makes you feel a particular way, but I want you to think about what you're feeling, exactly what you're feeling, because if you observe it, that feeling does actually you pass that feeling. And but you gotta observe it. And I understand that a lot of people may not even get to that point of being able to observe it enough to let it go past, because as soon as we feel that thing, there's like an anxiety, there's like a fear there, like, oh, like I really need to eat right now, I don't want to faint, I don't want to pass out, I don't want to be sick. But I will leave it on this note that parasites do control your paradigm, and that might not make any sense right now, but they really do. And when you've been in a what's it called, a routine of doing something so long, you know, you've programmed yourself to do something, so you can undo that program, you can get past that program of doing that. But yeah, just be mindful, and just think about it, like whenever you go to like an occasion, or whenever you're thinking about an occasion to attend, like what are the first few things that you think about. And you know, it always typically goes back to food. But yeah, going to like, for me, going to social gatherings or events and stuff, I'm not going there for food. I'm actually going there to, you know, see people and be around people. I want to be masked in their energy. So yeah, it's very, very different, very, very, very different. But yeah, I hope you all, I think I've touched everything I wanted to, but if not, I will I'll probably continue on this topic of social gatherings and food. And ultimately, yeah, it's very, very, very different. And yeah, like when you're creating and you're making meals, yeah, like just know that the energy you put into it is the energy that you're going to get out of it. Ultimately, yes, it may be deprived of, you know, the nutrients that it needs, but I do believe that if you put good intentions, it's like, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're making food with love, and you know, when someone consumes it and it's like, oh, like it's super amazing, it's because of the energy that you put into it. So yeah, just be mindful about where you're eating, who you're around at the time, like, and yeah, try not to get lost in you know, that feeling, that emotion of like, you know, you need to eat that thing right now. But like, observe it, see if you can observe it long enough, and then and watch it pass, watch it like literally go past, like nothing ever happened. But yeah, it might take a little bit of time to even acknowledge or to understand that actually that feeling does go past. It's like when you don't surrender into it, yeah, it does pass. But yeah, just be mindful eating is so important. And yeah, I will probably elaborate a bit more on the parasites, control your paradigm, and just the whole being able to kind of observe the feelings that you feel when you feel like you are hungry. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and yeah, I'll catch you on another live. Peace.